Saira. In the last chapter, we have seen how to create an API and executing the API, all the three operations like add, update, and delete. Now, we are going to create form, okay, HTML form, and create objects for the respective columns of the API and add a new row into the API. Okay. I mean, into the database using the API. This is what we are going to do now. For that, we are going to create a HTML form, but basically it works as a PHP. Okay. That we are going to explain now in this chapter. So let us start now. So you need to open the PPT, which is shared with you by your admin. Okay. So which has some chapter information and other related information. In the PPT, you could see the third slide. You could see some links referred. So out of that, you have to refer to the fourth link, that is form generating Excel link version 7.29. Okay. So I'm going to open this Excel. Okay, the Excel is open. Now you need to save this Excel in, actually when you open the Excel, it would be a view only format. That means you cannot make change into the Excel. What you need to do is you have to copy this Excel to your local Google Drive. I mean, you are operating this Excel from Google Drive. Now you need to save this Excel into your Google Drive. Okay, fine. So that I'm going to do now. So let me click on this file, make a copy. So once you click make a copy, then I need to select the Google folder. So I'll go. What I'll do. So I'll go to all locations, my drive. Okay. Under the my drive, I'll create a folder called project. Okay. So I'm going to add a new folder called my project. Okay. So now you created a folder empty. It's an empty folder called my project. And in this project, I'm going to add. Okay. So I'll give select. I'll make the changes, necessary changes in the file name. I mean the Excel file. So I'm going to make employee add. Okay. And I'll retain this version 7.29 for a reference sake, so that tomorrow I'll be knowing which version I used to create this particular form. Okay, so that I'll retain this. So make a copy. Okay. Once the rename is completed, now we need to change the respective information of the Excel. Okay, that we will do one by one. So first and foremost thing is you need to change the name of the file which you want to generate. So basically this is employee add. So what I'll do is I'll put employee. See, the best practice is before putting the purpose of the form, we will start with the initial so that tomorrow we will be knowing for this particular initial, this is the form created. So the best practice is this. So we LM followed by employee add. Okay, .php. Of course, PHP is need to be specified. That is very important. Done. So once this is done, then you need to edit all the orange color informations whenever required. Okay, whenever required. Okay. So I'm doing one after the other. You just note down. So form title. So what is the purpose of the form? The purpose of the form is to add a new employee. So I'll put new employee. Okay. Right. Okay. Then form type. Now here the file is specified. Actually, there are two forms available. One is foo. Okay. So that you need to specify here. And let me explain what is foo and file. Okay. But to know about the file that we will have in the later session, let me put two first. Okay. So whenever you want to create a form, then the form type by default it is two. Okay, fine. Done. The next thing is again tab title you need to specify. So you can just copy paste and heading also copy paste and include file. Okay. So it is always advisable to have all the user defined function in a separate PHP file, and that file can be included into the main PHP file. That is a best practice. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So what I'm going to do is just copy the file name, put it here. And I'll add just INCL FNS. So I'm just adding include function in addition to the file name. That's it. Okay. Done. Okay. Now I'll this especially about the edited and ID name. This we will be discussing in the edit form of the same employee. So that in the employee edit, we'll be utilizing these edit option. Okay. As of now, edit is false. Okay. So enable additional form parameters not required. Okay. Done. Now, okay. The next step is, so the basic information of the form is given. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create this form and see how it looks like. So I have given the basic information. Okay. So I'm going to create this form and see how it looks like. And then we will go into adding the objects. Fine. So how to create this? So before creating the file, I need to go scroll down to the column AU. Okay. So what is this format specified here? Under the AU column, you could find something JSON-like structure. It is exactly JSON. Okay, I'll explain what is the purpose of the whole Excel itself to create the JSON. That's the very purpose of the Excel. Okay. This JSON is going to be the key content for developing the PHP. Okay. So I'll copy this JSON. See, very simple. You have given whatever the necessary information about the form, and I'm going to copy this JSON. Okay. Let me continue. Okay. I'll be opening a local folder in my PC. Okay, drive. I'll create a folder called project, or better my project. Okay. So under that, I'll again create a subfolder and specify the initial LDM. So this is going to be an categorizing the forms. Okay. To categorize the form, I'm going to maintain based on the initials. Okay. Now under the lamp, I'm going to, that is the employee initial, I'm going to create the form. Okay, I'm going to create a text document, LM employee add dot JSON. Okay, because this is a JSON. So I'm just copying the content of the Excel, that is the Excel, JSON content of the Excel into this particular file. That's the purpose I'm creating the file. Now I'll edit in the Notepad++, paste the JSON. Done. So I copied the JSON here. Save the file and close it. Go back to this one. Now, and one more thing I need to do is I need to give some reference to this particular with respect to date and time. So what I'm going to do, I'll just edit the file name and put the date and time. So 2024 06 10 and followed by hours. So 14 10. Okay, that's it. So this is given. Now copy this file and you need to post into the an FTP folder. Okay. So which I'm going to open now. Actually, the current thing what you are seeing is nothing but FileZilla client. And based on the information given by my admin, that is, you'll be getting these credential from your admin or project leader so that you can use the credential and give the host name, username, and the password. You should be able to connect to the server, FTP server. Just click quick connect. Once done, okay. So now it is connected with your FTP server. Now under the FTP server, there is a folder called soil. Go into that folder. Okay. And copy the file. So the file is kept in your My Project folder. I'll just copy this, click this, copy, and put it into the FileZilla. Okay. Now I need to go to, I cannot directly copy into this. I need to go to this particular folder. So under the date drive, My Project. So under the lamp, I have this file. So what I'll do, I just click on the file, right click and upload. So the file is moved here. Okay. Once this is done, the PHP will be automatically generated. You could see that one. Now, actually, you copy the file and the file name comes like this. Employee add underscore the timestamp followed by JSON.txt. Okay. Now, once this is done, automatically in few seconds, it will be converted into PHP. Let me show you. once the file is posted, in few seconds, you could see that it is getting converted into PHP. Okay. Just click on the refresh so that you could see that file is converted to PHP. Okay, good. So now you need to copy this PHP into the working folder so that you can test it out. Okay. Before copying this into PHP, let me rename to the right name, whatever I want. So what I'll do, I'll click F2. I'll delete all the information like timestamp, JSON, TXT, just leave PHP. So lm employee add.php. That is the final result which we want. That has been created. Now copy this file and put it in the that you need to move this to the student folder. Okay. For that, what I need to do is I'll go to the Sai folder. I'll download this particular file. Okay. So I have it in the local file. Then I'll go to the stud. Okay. This is a folder in which I'm going to copy this file and do testing. Okay. So I'll add this file lm employee add.php into the stud folder. Okay. Now you check whether that has been added here. Yes, added. So this we are going to test it out. Now I'm going to show you how to test this particular file. So back to PPT. So in the PPT, if you refer to the index number 3, sample application for testing. Okay. So you could remember that we copied that new employee add file into the folder stored. Okay. So we are operating, we are going to test the same folder now. Okay. That's what we are going to do. So I'll click here. I'll open this particular folder. Okay, let me copy this and open in the Google Chrome. That will be easy for me. Okay. Okay. So the user ID password will be shared with you by your admin. So I'm just going to give my credential and log in. Once you come here, now you need to open that new employee add file. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type the file name here. Okay. lm employee add.php. Once you open the file, you could see a blank form with just a back button. Okay. So this would be your empty form. Okay. Now we are going to add objects into this particular form. Now I'm back to the Excel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the text boxes for the text boxes in the form to add the information for employee detail. Okay. Okay. So let me go and click it here and give text. So once you type text, you will be able to select the text box range in the Excel. Once I select the text box range, I'll be moved to the text boxes. Here in the text box, I can expand and see the information related to the text box to create new text boxes. So what I need to do is, first of all, I need to make this enabled. For that, I have to click true. So if I put true directly, it will come like caps. So what I need to do, I have to start with single quote, give true. Okay. So by default, it has to be in the lower case, not in the uppercase. Okay. Now I need to define the column names as per the API. Okay. So that I need to refer to my API. Okay. Let me open the API. Okay. So I'm in the project grid. I'll go open the SQL and tags. So the employee details are here. As I said in the ad, employee ID is not required. We'll start with employee name. So employee name, join date, previous CTC, all this information we need to give. So let me first decide on all the text boxes I need to enter. Okay, employee name, then address, mobile, email. These are the text boxes. Okay, so whatever the data type is string, or whichever the column has a string as a data type, those columns has to be categorized under the text box. Okay, so let me do that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to the Excel, employee add. There is an object sheet in the Excel. You click on the object sheet. Okay, and delete the existing information, whatever there, which are the previous information, you can just delete. Or sample information will be there that you can delete, and also the object type. Okay, now let me type the objects. Employee name. Okay. So I'll copy one after the other into the Excel sheet. Then email. Okay. So all the 4 text boxes been copied. Now, what are the left out is join date, previous CTC, all this information. Of course, previous CTC decimal, that also has to be a text box. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to arrange the information in the respective format I need. Okay. Before getting into this, let me explain what is this panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, all these things. So if you could see the form, the existing form is divided into some 20 panels, that is 20 horizontal lines. So each panel refers to one particular row or a line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define the objects one after the other in which panel it is going to be displayed. Okay. So let me start with the employee name, and then the next would be address. So what I'll do, I'll copy the address. I'll move all the information to some other column. Okay. I delete these informations. Okay. Let me copy the address. I'll put it in the panel 1 only. Okay. So what is meant by these? Employee name, address, and mobile. All the three in the single row. That means one row can have three objects. That is what we are displaying here. Okay. So three objects I have put together in panel 1. Okay. Then email and CTC, I'll put it in the panel 2. Okay. Previous CTC, I'll put it in the panel 2. Okay. So the necessary information has been arranged. Okay. I'll delete the unnecessary informations. Then, so in the panel 1, I have employee name, address, and mobile. The panel 2, I have email and CTC. Okay. Now what are left? Let me go back to the SQL and check that one. So the left out are whether married or not, then department and join date. Okay, let me check join date. So join date, I'll put it in the panel 3 because this is something different information. I need not want to club with the existing information. I'll put it in the separate panel. Okay. And what else more? So married, I'll put it in the panel 2. Okay. So join date in the panel 3. Then the left out is department ID. Department ID, we will put it in the last. Okay. As of now, I'm not going to use that. We will see in the upcoming informations. Okay. So up to this, we are going to generate the form. For that, we have made the primary requirements. Okay. So you have understood that in the panel 1, employee name, address, and mobile are there. In the panel 2, email, CTC, and married information are there. And in the panel 3, join date is there. Okay. And there is something called order count. Order count is given like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. As per the order. Now we will go back to the previous sheet. Now, under the panel 1, the first information is EMP name, which is there. You can just copy from there in the object. Okay, then address. So, there are two things. One is column description and column name. So what is the purpose of description? Description is you need to give a more definable name or readable name. So I'll put employee name. Okay. Then address. Like you can specify the uppercase, lowercase, whatever the format, is more, looks like more readable. And column name is the exact name of the column which has to be specified as per the defined in the database or table. Okay, now I have text 3. What do you mean by text 3 is across the row, I'm going to have 3 objects. So that means text 3. Across the row, if I need to have 2 objects, I can put text 2 and likewise text 1. So this we will see later on. As of now, we will go with the text 3. Okay. Now I'll remove the unnecessary information like even name and even function, which are not relevant to us as of now. Okay. Now I have specified only 2 columns now. What about the remaining columns? That I need to specify now. Okay. So what I'll do, I need to have additional rows here to add additional columns. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert 1 row above. So then I'll repeatedly add 2 or more rows into the section. Okay. Now I'm going to copy the panel 1 information to the next one. So in the Excel, one thing we have to remember is whenever you duplicate a particular row, that row has to be copied by clicking on the row start. I mean, for example, you are copying the row 84. That means the whole row has to be copied by clicking on the 84. If I need to copy 82, I need to click on the 82, then the whole row will be selected. Similarly, I'm going to copy 84. That means I need to copy selecting the 84 and Control C and put Control V. Likewise, you can put number of rows as per your requirement. Okay. Now, I have sufficiently, I have copied the rows. Now I need to just copy from the objects and put it here. Once all this information copied from the your API to this Excel, I need to define the object names. I mean object type. So employee name is a text. Okay. So I'll put text. I'll copy text and put mobile number, email, previous etc or text. Okay. What about this married? Married should be a boolean or a checkbox. All right. Or it could be a drop down yes or no. Better it would be a checkbox. You can just click on the checkbox whether married. If you click on the checkbox, it is married. If you give it empty, then it means not married, unmarried, whatever means. Okay. So I'll give like checkbox. Okay. Then join date would be a like it should be a date picker. So it should be a date picker. So that I'll be selecting the date. So this is how the objects are going to look like. Fine. Now I'm going to copy these objects to the form to JSON sheet. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to copy the text boxes information into this panel and in this particular text box. So I'll go back to the objects. Let me select the employee name and come to form 2. I'll put the employee name in the column name and similarly address. Now I want 2 more new rows to be added. So how to add that one? I need to copy this particular row. While copying or duplicate the object. Okay. So this is basically duplicating the object. This panel one new or whatever the information here is a duplication of the object. So what I'm going to do, if I need to duplicate an object, I need to copy the whole row. So copy 8 to 4 and put it in the, and similarly you can add two more informations. I mean two more instance of the object so that I can utilize for the next object. Okay, so let me go to the object and I'll copy mobile. Come back to this one, mobile and email. I can copy like this also. I can copy email and CTC, previous CTC together, Control C and Control. Okay, so all this information has been copied. Now in the column description, you give the correct name. I mean, see, column description meant for more readable information. So I'm going to type like employee name. Okay. So if you want to give uppercase, lowercase, whatever the format you want, you can give that one. Well, email, previous series. So all this information has been given. Now we need to see whether the panel and order number are correct. So that we need to check. So the employee name, address, mobile, right. That is belongs to panel one. But email and CTC not belongs to, it belongs to panel two. So I need to change panel two and correspondingly, I need to give the order count. So what I'll do is I'll check with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So what I'll do, this is 1, this is 2, and the remaining things are 3, 4, 5. And these two are panel 2. Okay. Done. So the required text boxes are added with the right information. And you could see like text 3 here. This we will be discussing in the future. Okay. As of now, we'll come to this particular part. Comma if next text added. You could see here. Okay. So what happened is after employee name, there is a text box. After address, there is a text box. After email, there is a text box. But after previous CTC, there is no text box. That means I should not have this comma. That's it. So logically, we need to define how many commas are required based upon if text boxes is followed by the current object. So in the current object, there is no next text box available. So comma is not required. Done. So this is a very important rule. We need to check that before going to the next level. Fine. So all the information has been saved. Now we will just create the form and see how it looks like. So the creation of the form, same procedure. I'll copy and put it in the folder, Sai folder. Okay, let me do that again. So what I'm going to do, I'll go back, click on the AU, copy the JSON, go back to my project folder. Okay. So here I'm going to create one more file. I'll not disturb the existing file. I'll create one more text file. Text document. So LM employee add underscore year month day in time. dot JSON. So done. This information is good. Once this is done, we need to move to the FTP folder. So I'll go to FileZilla and refresh here so that the new file is displayed here. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Hope I have not copied the information because here it shows byte is 0. So I need to copy the information into the file. Okay. So I'll right click, edit notepad, Control V. So I copied the file information into the, that is JSON information into the file and close this. Now I'll move this file to the FTP. So you refresh, you could see that file is clear. Okay. Now I have to move this file to the SAI folder. I have to click on the latest file and upload. So the text file is uploaded. Now this will be created in a few seconds. The file will be created. You just refresh, you could see the file is been created. Okay. So the latest PHP is updated. Now rename this latest PHP as per your convenience. Okay. I'll move this file. First, I need to move this file to the my project folder. Okay. Now here I'll rename to the, I'll put F2. Before doing this one, let me delete the existing PHP so that it is not duplicated. Okay. Now I'll rename. Now add.php is been updated. Now copy this to the stud folder. Now I'll go to stud folder, copy this folder. I'll just copy this file to this folder. I just upload. Now it says whether to overwrite. Yes. Okay. Now let me see what happens. I'll go to this one and let me refresh. So you got the text boxes. So the employee name, address, mobile, email, and the previous CTC, all the information has been displayed. Okay, good. Now I need to add two more information, that is whether married or not and previous, join date. All this information need to be added. Okay. Let me go back to the Excel format. So successfully added the text boxes. Now I'll go to the again range selection. I can put a shortcut key. I can use the shortcut key Control J. So I put Control J, the cursor comes here. Now I need to give the check boxes. So I'll put checkbox. Oh, I got checkbox. Fine. So checkbox is here. I have to expand this range. Okay. First of all, I should enable the thing. So for that, single quotes, true. Okay. Now by default, this will be in the I need to copy the column name first. Okay. So what is the column name? I'll go to the object. The column name is married. I'll go to JSON object, then Control V, What is the detail name? Married. Okay. And which panel it belong to? It belong to panel 2 and the order count is 6. So panel 2 is there by default. So I'll need to change the order count 6. Fine. So the basic information has been given. And here no comma is required because there is no next object for the checkbox. Okay. So for this particular row, there is no next object found. So comma is not required. Okay. Done. So once the checkbox is added, so this file has to be generated. Before adding the file, let me put date picker also. So how to put date picker? Again, Control J. I'll use date picker. Okay. So again, date picker. I need to expand this one and make this true. Okay, come down. Now date name. That is the column name. So I have to go to the object. So what is the column name? Join date. Back to form to JSON sheet. Basic join date. And date type is 3. That is standard. Date and assign. So what is mean by assign? By default, assign means see. It says assign current date. You could see here. That means by default, today's date will be updated here. Obviously, it has to be because join date goes, mostly the employee information will be entered then and there when he joins. Of course, you can select the previous date also if it required. That is different. And there is something called assign session, which is not required as of now. We will see in the future. Then here I need to update the panel. So the panel is 2 and the order count I need to update. So order count is I'll go back to the object. Order count is 7. Okay. Done. So this information is also given. So the date picker is available and the checkbox is available. Now we'll generate again so that we could see the date picker and the date in the form. So generating the form is very simple. You need to copy the JSON. Go back to my project folder. Create a text document. LM employee add 2024 that year, month, day, and hours and minute. Okay. Dot JSON. Done. Now open this in Notepad++. Paste the JSON into this one. Save this. Close. Once this is copied, you need to move to the FTP folder. Go to SOI. Refresh here. So the new text is found. That is, if it is confusing, you can delete the old TXT files because that is are not required. You can delete. So you can have only the latest file created. Then you have to move to the SOI folder. I'll just upload. Okay, the file is been uploaded here. Okay, now this information has to be checked. So it will be generated automatically in few minutes. So let me check now. Yeah, it has been converted. So PHP is ready. And here also you can delete the previous files to make looks easy for us to proceed further. So I'll keep you only the last file created. Okay. Now I'll move this again to my local folder. So what I need to do, I need to download. So the file is downloaded. I delete the previous employee add file, rename this. Okay. So I'll move to the stud folder. I'll click on the LMP employee add, upload. Okay. So done. Oh, there is a name change. Something difference. Spelling mistake is here. Yeah, I have gone like employee, wrong name. Okay. So I'll delete this one. There is some duplications there. Okay. All right. So I'll again upload. It asks for overwrite. Yes. Okay. So now you could go back to your browser and refresh the screen. You could see. I think some confusion in the panel. That's what both the thing. I mean, married and date both are in the same panel. Let me check that one. I think some confusion in the panel. So go back to the JSON, Control J, checkbox, checkbox panel 2. Okay, checkbox is here. Panel 2 6. This is also in the panel 2. Okay, where correct. No, no. I think date is in panel 3 if I'm correct. Let me check that one. That is in panel 3. So the information has to be wrongly entered. So what you need to do is you need to change to panel 3. Now if you generate, that will be your date will be in the next panel. So let me do for that again. So that it gives a clear picture. So after generating the JSON part, so we got the date in the right format. Okay. Now everything is done. Only thing now we need to add a save button. If you click on the save button, the information whatever given in the text boxes has to move to the database by calling the API. Okay, that we need to do. That will be the next part. Let me continue that. Okay. So for that, what we need to do is go back to your Excel. Control J again, save. So there is something called save button. Okay, you click on the save button. You got into this particular save module. Here, you need to convert this into true. Okay, the save option is in it. Once this is done true, you have an important job called, there is already back button is here. Okay, which is shown in the form. I can show you that one. So this is the back button getting displayed here. Okay. So this back button is already there. So in addition to that, you are adding one more button for save. Okay. So that means you need to add comma. Okay, that where I'm coming. Okay. So now we need to add comma because we are adding a new button called save. For that, I'm adding comma. Okay, fine. Now, save button. Before going into more detail about the save button, let me create the object. So I'll be knowing what is the panel required. So let me put the save button in the panel 4. Save button. Okay. Object type is button and the object name is save. And it is in the panel 4, order count 10. So go back to the form to JSON. Give the respective panel. So it is panel 4. Then order count is 10. That. Now we have the other information need to be checked here. Okay. So there is called something server path for API call in save button. Okay, what is the server path? Again, this information will be given to you by the admin. But in general, the server path would be what I'm going to type now. HTTP followed by 65.2 19.186 API is required, followed by the initial LM. Before API, after API, there is the SMEZ. Okay. So how it comes, I'll say. SMEZ, LM. Under that, rdt.php. Okay. So let me explain this one. I will copy this. So how it works out is, see, up to this is standard. That is HTTP and followed by server and API folder is constant, more or less constant. So what are the variable is your master initial folder. Master initial folder is SMEZ. Sorry, your master initial folder is stored. Okay, because you are in the student category, so it will be stored. And the initial would be LM, that is right, and the additive.php. Okay, so this is done. So this is actually the path to be given in the Excel. So go back to that. And paste it. Right. So the path is given correct. The next name is main tag name. So what is the main tag name? So that let me show you. So the next information is main tag. So where do we get the main tag information? So for that, we need to go back to our tag and SQL. So under the tag and SQL, you could find under the tag, you could find the main tag name. So the main tag name is lmpmtbl underscore add. So where do you get this again? This information, it is nothing but what you are given in the add column. Okay. That is, I'll go back to here. Under the LM folder, LM initial. And we click on the employee table. this LM EMTBL add, this is what reflecting there. This is the main tag name. Okay. And like for update, the next one would be the update, and for delete, the third one. So which we have already seen. Okay, fine. So I need to copy this information into this folder, into the Excel. Okay. So Control V. So LM MTBL add is done. Okay. Now button hyper reference. Button, I mean, PHP to be called after button click. See, once save is done, okay, what information has to, or which form has to be opened. So that we need to define here. So as of now, we will be opening the index form again. So that is the dashboard. So here we need to give actually double quotes. Why? Because generally single quotes will not reflect. If I give single quote, that quote will not be reflecting at all. So to make the single quote available, I need to prefix one more quote. That's the reason I'm giving two quotes here. Okay, that's it. So the main tag is given, and the once a save is done, it will go to the index.php. Okay, fine. All the information, required information has been done. So the save button is mostly ready. Now we need to give the information regarding the columns to be saved. Okay, fine. That we will be giving here. Okay. So the tag XML CMD, tag name, and tag value ID. These are the three information which we need to type. Okay. So let me do one after the other. Initially, I'll be taking the, again, let us go with the object. So employee name. So tag XML CD. Let me put this employee name. The next one is address. Address. The third one is mobile. Mobile. Now I need some three more new rows. So what I need to do, I need to copy this and paste it here, like three more. Okay. So three, or I think more is required. Yes, one more. Actually four. I mean, actually seven. We need to have one more. Okay. So this is done. Now I'll change all the information. Of course, mobile is there, so we'll not change that one. Object. I can copy like this, put all together in single shot. Okay, done. Now, correspondingly, this information has to be duplicated in the tag name also, because the column name and tag name are same. Then actual objects that is to be specified. Okay. So to make it simpler, I'll copy the columns here and make necessary changes. So what are the changes required here? Here it is being given. Like if it is a text box, you need to prefix txt. If it is a label, lbl. If it is a date, dt. If it's a checkbox, likewise, each object type will have its own prefix. Okay, so we'll go one after the other. So all text boxes should have txt, 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 txt. Good. Now this married is not a txt, it is a checkbox. So HTCPX. That is what specified here. So for checkbox, HTCPX. Then join date is DT. Fine. So all the necessary information has been updated. So text employee name, address, mobile, email, previous CTC, checkbox, married checkbox, and date, join date. Now out of this, which is primary key? There is nothing primary key because we have not add primary key. In the add, primary key is not required. And parent key. Even parent key is not there. Parent key we will be seeing in the future. Okay. Now we need to define the data type. What kind of data it is? So all the text boxes are mostly string except the previous CTC. So the previous CTC is decimal. You can check up with what kind of data type it has to be decimal. Okay. So it's simple. Okay. Then married, that is checkbox. Oh, sorry, that is Boolean. This is data type. Okay. Then join date is date and time. Okay. So once the data type is completed, now we need to furnish the comma. Okay. What is the importance behind this comma? Okay, let me explain about the basic fund of the Excel. So once you move your cursor to the right side of the Excel, you could see the JSON getting created for each object that we type in the Excel. So here you could see the object is getting typed. Now, being a JSON, so the tag starts here. XML command array is the subtag. Under these, all these are the elements. Okay. Of course, you need not worry about the syntax of the JSON. All these things are taken care by the Excel. That is the beauty of this Excel. So I am trying to make you understand why the comma is very important. Okay. So what happened is you could see the comma up to the second object, third object, fourth object, and all, there is no comma because we have not specified the comma here. Okay. So the comma is very important till the last but one object. So let me put the comma. So I'm giving the comma up till the last but one. Okay. Once this comma is completed, then let me see the object, how it is generated. Yes. Now it is very clear. So all the object has the comma. This is a basic concept behind the JSON. Of course, you doesn't know about JSON, need not worry about that one. It is not part of your subject. Okay. If those who can understand little about JSON, they'll appreciate the concept behind the Excel. That's the reason which I want to share with you now. Okay, fine. And one more thing is very important. If you have more objects, let us assume. See, as per this particular form, we have only this much of columns. Let us assume you have 5 more columns to be added. So that means you need to extend the, after join date, you need to have more rows to be added. So what happened is, there is a something called duplicate starts here and duplicates ends here. And if you check up with the text box also, similar thing is there. Let me show you. Control J. Okay. So here also, there is something called, under the text box also, there is something called duplicate starts here and duplicates over here. So what do you mean by this? Between these only, we can create the number of text boxes and corresponding objects. Like if you want to have more text boxes to be added, like for example, Aadhaar number or something like that, you want to add more columns, then we can extend the bandwidth between the duplicate starts and here over here. Okay, by just right click, insert row above, or that's it. That is how it is possible. So once you insert a row, that bandwidth between the duplicate start and over here will extend. So you can extend to any number of rows you want as per the requirement. So similarly, it happens with save also, and it suits for all objects. It is not only for text box and the save tag commands. It is also suitable for checkbox, drop downs, and any objects in the particular form or in the Excel. Okay, right. So hope you understand this very well. Now all things are completed. Up to join date, it is over. Now we need to generate the Excel. That means copy this JSON into a text file. So we will try that one. So I will coming to the AU column. Copy this one. So what we need to do is we need to text file, create a text file. That is as usual procedure. What you have. So new text document LM underscore employee underscore add underscore 2024 06 11 16 what dot JSON. So this is a thing. Okay. Once this is done, enter. So the file is created. We need to copy the content of the JSON into the file. Okay. So I'll be opening in the Notepad++. Copy. ++ paste. So the file JSON, whatever the JSON format, we have copied from the Excel. It is copied to the text file. So you could see the JSON. Just for your understanding, I'm showing. This is JSON we have created from the Excel. And the very purpose of the Excel is to create this JSON. Nothing else. Fine. Okay. Now, once this is saved, we'll go back to the FTP FileZilla, upload it. So refresh it. File is available. So the file is copied here. So the file will be, the PHP will be generated shortly. So the PHP is generated. Again, you have to copy this to the local folder. So download, delete the existing TXT file and rename this file. Before renaming, we will delete the old file. Okay. So the file is generated. Now this file has to be moved to the stored folder in the FTP. Okay. So I'll click on this and again upload. So it asks for overwrite. Yes. Okay. So this is completed. Now the save procedure, the save button is added. Now we can check that. So the save button, you are able to see the save button here. Now I'm going to give the details. Let us say Radha Krishnan. Number 5. Last week. So phone number, email, CPC. Okay. Then click save. Now, if you want to change the date, like you want to give any previous date, you can change the date. That's the purpose of the date picker. Okay. Once you click save, the employee table added. Okay. Now you can go to the MySQL and see whether it has been added. So we successfully added the data using the form created by the zero coding format. Thank you. So that's the end of this particular chapter. We will see you in the next chapter. Bye then.